Hello, my friend, and welcome to the 428th episode of the Sales Podcast. I'm Wes Schaefer, the Sales Whisperer, your host. Today we have Mr. Ethan Beute. He is one of the lead dogs at BombBomb. It's a video email platform. He's out of Colorado Springs, and he's the co-author of Rehumanize Your Business, How Personal Videos Accelerate Sales and Improve Customer Experience. Just as I hit record, my trusty iMac started ringing because, Apple has this new filter on the phones. If you don't recognize the number, if it's not in your phone won't ring. And I love it for the most part, although I do miss a few calls when I know somebody's calling me, I don't have their number saved. But overall, it's fine. This guy calls, and, I think back, it's kind of ironic if they had video, if they had tried to correspond with me in a different way. If I knew a little more about them, it would have been a much better call. I happened to answer it really just to see I was getting the same phone call from the same area code over and over and over again. And persistence does pay off, although usually not in a good way. But if he had a better pitch, if he had a better opening, if he was telling the truth, that would have helped as well. But video obviously is growing. It's a huge part of the internet. You see everything's got video now, right? Good old Periscope. It's on Twitter. But, Instagram, TV, Facebook streaming, Facebook Lives, LinkedIn. Obviously, you can do it as well. So, but how do you deliver it via email? And I've been using a couple of different tools for a little over a year and a half. Now I'm using BombBomb. Simple platform to use, powerful. And so we talk about, not just the platform, but we get into what is your real goal in business? How do you stand out? And what are the real benefits of using video? Because you know me, I don't let people sugarcoat things. We dig into it. And then what are the real reasons you're not using it? Okay, what are your fears? What are you hesitant about? How can you overcome that? And I think we tackle that pretty well here in this episode. All right, so get ready to take some notes because here comes Ethan. Ethan Beute, all the way from my adopted college hometown of Colorado Springs. Welcome to Sales Podcast, man. How the heck are you?
Great. Thank you so much for having me, and thanks for your service.
Hey, man. Thanks for being worthy of serving. All right. So look. Enough about me. Let's talk about you, shall we?
Sure.
Chief Evangelist BombBomb, improving your communication, connection, and conversion with simple, personal videos. What if we've been told that we have a face made for radio? Should I be doing videos?
I think you have been misled if that's the case. Here's what I'll say. I'll say if you have ever had someone say yes in some significant fashion. Obviously, if you're in a sales role, you need a whole series of yeses to get to like the big yes, the commitment, the signed contract, whatever. If you've had any level of success in your sales career, guess what? People like you and trust you. And so video just allows you to be you more often. It's you face to face at scale. And so this idea, you're not a spokesmodel. You're a relationship builder and a salesperson and a representative of a company and of a particular set of values and of a value in solving a problem or capitalizing on an opportunity. Like video can be used in a variety of ways, but the type of video I like to warm people up to and teach them about is appropriate for anyone who is trying to build a relationship with another person.
Right. So for those that don't know BombBomb, it's did y'all invent it or just kind of make it super popular and easy to embed videos inside of emails, which is harder than it sounds?
Yeah, so it's probably a little bit of both. We didn't invent it, but the company was founded legally in 2006, came to market in 2011. So we were very, very early in the space and, learned a lot with and through and for our early adopters, 2011, 2012, 2013. We had a couple hundred customers when I started and we're about 50,000 today. So, really cool, fun growth story as more people normalize this type of communication. And so I don't know, I think we definitely popularized it. We wrote the first and only book specifically on this subject. It's called Rehumanize Your Business. And it's really 8 years of collected learnings, teachings, trainings, all packaged in one sensible format. And I don't know that very many people or very many companies could have done that the way I did that with Steve Passanelli, my team member and longtime friend, did in that book. And so, it's some of both. I don't think we invented it. I think this idea of using video in new and different ways was really, when Web 2.0 caught on, social media, the rise of YouTube, which was, they were the cover of Time magazine or something as person of the year was you because of YouTube or whatever. Video's been popularized and more available and less expensive pretty much, the entire millennium. But, this nuance of it, I definitely think we helped pioneer it. And I think our community is a pioneering community.
So it took 5 years to develop. Is my math right? 2006 to 2011?
Yeah, well, it was a part-time job for one guy. Our other co-founder was, he had to keep the lights on. Oh, and I should add, we're not venture backed, we're bootstrapped. And so, some friends and family money. And so it was, one of our earliest core values was do more with less. And so, it was those 5 years were a combination of how would we do this? Should we do the development onshore or offshore? Who do we know? How do we get emails delivered? Like we deliver it. Not in all of our instances anymore, but I mean, when we initially launched it, it was essentially like a MailChimp with video integrated deeply in it. And then of course, over the years, we got into the Gmail inbox, Outlook, we work in Salesforce, Outreach, whole bunch of other situations. You can drop them into LinkedIn messages, text messages, we have mobile apps, et cetera. So it's become a lot more nuanced, but it was, how do we build software? And how do we get email delivered and build a good sending reputation? And so that took a while, especially on a part-time basis. And our two co-founders are sales and marketing guys. And so, one of them at the time, and this is a really cool thing, is that the original founder's vision is alive and well today in our community, which is really cool. And that's that he was selling billboards for Lamar Advertising. Colorado Springs is a great Lamar market. They own like 90% of the inventory. And he grew his list to the point where he couldn't stay in front of people as often as he wanted to. And so it was, how can I get in front of people in a personal way that shows them I value them and communicates to them clearly, like contract renewals, board rotations, holidays, happy birthdays, lunch appointments, follow-ups after presentations, all these touches that, you need to do, but can I do them in a way that's more personal and human and validating than a plain black text on a plain white screen? And so, that was what we were trying to solve in 2006. And now we have tens of thousands of people solving it that way today, which is really great.
So you mentioned LinkedIn, you mentioned Salesforce, et cetera. So for our listeners, the service, so let's say I've got, I use HubSpot, I use Infusionsoft, I sell those, Ontraport, ActiveCampaign. Is your system merging with those, or is it, if I want to send a video message with BombBomb and I have Salesforce, is it integrated and there's just a button, or do I have to have two different systems open and then it like adds to the history record of the contact? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, good question. So the companies I mentioned, just off the top of my head, Gmail, Outlook, some versions of Outlook. Outlook is a crazy development environment. Salesforce. So we have a new instance in the App Exchange where BombBomb works directly inside Sales Cloud and Service Cloud. So we're embedded in the Salesforce experience. You don't have to go anywhere else. I will say, through our Google Chrome extension, you can take the URL or even the embed code of any video that you record on the fly or have in your library and drop it anywhere else. And so, if, for example, you wanted to do mass mailing out of Aweber, for example, you could record that in Chrome, or you could upload it into your BombBomb account, because it's not necessarily for your YouTube channel. So you don't want to upload it to YouTube, mark it as private, screen capture it, take that screen capture and drop it into your email, link that out to YouTube. It's build a landing page to like we make all of that really easy. We knock all those steps out of the way. So you're really recording and sending in one pass. And We can get into some of the ways that we handle the video and present the video in an email if you want to, but in general, we just remove a lot of those steps. And so the companies I mentioned are very direct integrations. We have like 50 or 60 of them. And then through our Chrome extension, you can really use these because anywhere you can put a URL or you can embed HTML, you can put a video that you have in your BombBomb account.
Right. So, Ethan, it sounds great, man. But look, I'm paying for LinkedIn Navigator. I'm paying for this CRM. I'm paying for this text messaging integration. I'm paying for all this stuff. I mean, this video, do I really need to embed a video? Look, my emails, they're going to the promotions tab anyway. I mean, I'm really thinking of even just doing less video. So, I don't know if this is for me.
Sure. What I'll say is one-to-one video is the highest use, in my opinion, of the way that we teach and deliver a video experience. There are other companies that do it differently that are more, video hosting oriented. YouTube and Vimeo would be the biggest ones. To me, this is about, I need to reach out to that person and solve a problem, or I want to reach out to that person and just get a reply so I can set a meeting, or I need to reach out to this person to say, thank you so much for sending that account my way. We just had a great meeting and I so appreciate you sharing my name and my contact information when that conversation came up. This is about appreciating the people that you need and want in a successful business ecosystem. And so this idea of, and I would challenge you to think this way. You've probably clicked send. It's midday when we're recording this. You've probably clicked send a half dozen times minimum, maybe 25 times. And when you think about the messages that you're sending there and what you need and want in return, how you want to make people feel, how you want people to react from a persuasion standpoint, what you need them to do, I would guess that we'll go with the 25 number. I would guess that at least 5 of those messages would have been better sent as a simple personal video recorded with your webcam or with your smartphone and sent to that person in order to build rapport, communicate more clearly. And you were kind enough to read that off the top. It's clearer communication, right? Face, voice, personality, tone, pace, body language, all of that. It's just a richer piece of communication. It builds human connection. One of my favorite things to hear, and I've heard it well over 500 times from customers, is people feel like they know me before they meet me, right? Oh yeah, it's you, right? There's a reason that we're recording this on Zoom so we can see each other. And I feel like I know you a lot better than if we were doing this conversation over the phone, right? There's something going on there at a deep, fundamental human level. And then ultimately it's increased conversion. And that could be just and our customers report that 81% say they get more replies to their emails. 87% say they get more clicks through their emails. And we have a number of survey data points like that. And so it's getting the yes, whether it's a small yes or a big yes. And so I would say, if you want to be more effective, and this is going to sound soft, but if you want to be more satisfied in your work, communicating in a more personal and human way more often in a casual, conversational, unscripted webcam video or mobile phone video is a great way to do that. And so I get it. I mean, people are scared of being judged. They fear rejection. It's one of our deepest human fears is this, am I going to be thrown out of the tribe, right? Our old brain, our lizard brain that's, not kept up with the pace of technology and society and all these things that we're wrapped up in. We feel very, very current and modern, but our brains are ancient. We fear more than anything judgment, rejection, and being thrown out of the tribe. Because if you got thrown out of the tribe 1,200 years ago, there's a good chance you were going to die alone out in a wilderness, right? And so putting ourselves up in an honest and authentic way is a very challenging thing to do. But when you do it, that's one of the reasons that this style of communication is so effective, is that people appreciate that so much.
Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. And I tell people all the time, it's just cut to the chase, man. You don't have to get all fancy. You don't have to do your hair. Just when you say their name, and I learned this years ago, even with testimonials, I get video testimonials when I do live training, and I have people say my name at the beginning because we're so jaded. They'll literally think, oh, you just stole that testimonial. So I have them say, Wes, thanks for this, thanks for that. So, I say their name in the video, and they're like, as soon as they hear their name, they're like, this is not a bulk message, I could be in a gorilla suit. I could be undressed. I mean, they won't, they're just, oh my gosh, he loves me. I am loved. I'm not thrown out of the tribe, right? I'm part of the herd.
That is
kicked
it.
out, Wes will adopt me. Okay.
That is it. I mean, you see these headlines all the time, and I don't want to go dark, but this, and it's a little bit trite or cliche, but we're more connected than ever. We're internet connected anytime we want to, anywhere in the world almost. And yet we feel more disconnected than ever. Loneliness, depression, even suicide, all of these rates are, even though we're hyper connected, we are emotionally more disconnected than ever. So when people give you that reply, Wes, it's because they feel, oh my gosh, he took the time to do that for me. And they think that explicitly, and they might even say that in the reply. What they're feeling inside that they're not going to articulate is, I feel seen, I feel heard, I feel appreciated. Wes carved out time out of his day to let me know that he sees me and appreciates me. And that's it's just so connecting. And I know I'm sounding a little bit soft here, but I don't care what you sell. I don't care what product or service you represent. If you are not of value in the sales process or the service process, you're probably going to be automated because you're just too expensive to keep in the process. And everywhere you are adding value, being more personal and human is the best way to show your value and increase your value such that you're not cut out as a middleman in the process. And so this is another tension that's out there. What processes do we automate and which ones do we actually do the heavy lift on? Which processes do we scale and which ones do we continue to do the unscalable actions in, and which actions are the unscalable ones we want to keep? And so I think this simple personal video for one person or 3 people or 8 people is part of that conversation as well. And I just think if you have value to add, why not do it in the most complete and human way? Because otherwise the machine starts to encroach on it because you're diminishing your own value.
Yeah. So, it's your servers. You are effectively an ESP, right? An email service provider.
Yeah. In most of our subscription levels, we have a platform. You can sync your contacts from another system and send out mass emails and, newsletters, product or service announcements, right. Triggered emails, automation sequences, et cetera. Very well that ground is pretty well covered. And so a lot of that is stuff that we built years ago that we've continued to invest in, that people still get value out of, but what we're selling a lot more often and what people are really picking up much more quickly is this lighter weight situation where I just want a quick, easy way to record a video and send it in a way that is clean, polished, professional. And so in some cases, customers are using the ESP. In other cases, Gmail is sending that email, or Salesforce is sending that email, or you're embedding it in an Aweber email, or whatever the case may be. And so to the ESP question, it's a yes and no.
Okay. Yeah.
It can be if you want it.
Yeah. So, but I can make that quick video and I'm basically embedding the URL and it's showing a thumbnail, right? And in the email. So when the Gmail comes through and they're in the preview, they're seeing my happy smiling mug in their email.
Totally. If you use our instance inside a Gmail inbox, we show up in every compose and reply window as an opportunity to record a video or add a video into it from your library. In the case that, it's a little bit more of a canned response, which, I see that there's a purpose for that. Personal is always best, but when some things need to be scaled. And so, an evergreen video can be a useful way to do that. So when we deliver, if you send an email through our Gmail instance, we actually take the first 3 seconds of your video and turn it into a 3-second animated preview. And so when it hits someone's inbox, they get a 3-second loop of you. And so what I do is I keep a whiteboard at hand, and I'll just write notes on it, people's names and things. And so they know when they get it, they don't have to click play to know I made this just for you. Right. Answer to your question, Wes. 2 truths and a lie, Wes, right? That's just kind of a fun, provocative thing. It gives you the opportunity to A, demonstrate that it's a video, and B, let people know that there's something of interest or value to them, and or that it's truly personal. The same way that the subject line increases your open rate, so too do we give you some tools that you can use to increase your video play rate. And in fact, when we released the presentation as it is now, where we loop the 3 seconds and we put a little play button and play 37-second video, play 52-second video, play 1-minute video, whatever the case may be, it produced a 48.9% lift in video play rate when we moved to static to animated in that style. And we tested a variety of graphic designs in terms of how to do the GIF, but we settled on the one that produced the highest play rate.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's why you don't want to send it as an attachment. People ask that all the time. Hey, can't I just do this myself? Well, you record all our cameras are HD now, and some of them are even 4K on our phones. And so A, that video file is probably too large to attach. B, if it does go, because I think Gmail's limits 25 megs. Outlook, I think, is 20 megs. Your recipient has another standard on the other side. Email's a wild place because of all the different email clients and browsers and devices that it's sent and received on. So you need a uniform experience. And so even if it can get through now, to your question, it's like now there's this 24 meg file at the bottom of this email that I need to click to download. Now I have a 24 meg file I want to watch once in the bowels of my phone at worst case, or my laptop best case, because I can delete it out of the downloads folder easily. But I have to do all of these steps as your recipient before I can ever see 1 second of your smiling face. And so again, nice, clean, professional, fast, easy is our MO.
I wish you could show this to my dad. He forwards these emails. I don't think I've watched one of those videos in 2 years. It's just big old file. I'm like, I just don't want to do it. I know it's a funny,
Yeah. Can you give me the name of it? I'll drop it in my browser and go watch it right now in a streaming situation. So that's what we do. I mean, we host your video for you. And in fact, we're encoding it while you're recording it, so it's ready to go immediately. So that scenario where it's like, hey, we got your video here on Facebook. We'll let you know when it's, we'll alert you to when it's available, right? So your video is ready to send. I recorded a 9-minute video to answer a very detailed set of questions from a coworker of mine that works hundreds of miles away. And it took about 9 seconds to encode. And that's a really dramatic situation. But if I were to have tried to send that through, say, Facebook Messenger, A, the time limit would have come up, and B, it would have taken about 50% of the time to record to encode based on tests that I've run. And so it's just ready to go, and it's smart stream. So we host the video, and when people click play, it just starts playing. Nothing to download, and they don't need any special software to do it either.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I imagine you have free trials, or how can people test it?
Yeah, absolutely. 2-week trial. No credit card required, nice. Unlimited video sending. You have access to the full thing. If you want to use it as an ESP and, compose some emails in our drag and drop editor, you can. But if you just want to take the Chrome extension and send videos out of Gmail or drop them into LinkedIn, whatever you want, it's pretty much wide open. We love what we do. We'll provide you plenty of training, which is, I think that's something relatively unique to us. I've been doing this for a decade. I was working with the two coworkers early on, even before I joined them full time. And, we have a very tenured team throughout the organization, not just in leadership. Like, we're just committed to this goal of rehumanizing business communication. And so we provide a lot of training, regular webinars, support site, call in and talk to humans in a Colorado Springs office if you need help. We do all that all the time. We're just really excited about this opportunity. And, as a background piece, for whatever it's worth, our ultimate mission is to rehumanize, dehumanize populations, and the business allows us to do that. And so I think that helps with, especially if you're like a customer support person just taking heat all day, or you're a salesperson who's maybe getting hung up on a lot. It's like, knowing that you're trying to do something that really matters, A, change the way people connect and communicate every day in their business and transform the relationships they have in their business. But then B, help people of the world who've been dehumanized.
Yeah, I love it. So where do we send them, man? Is there a special link or just bombbomb.com?
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for asking. It's the website is bomb.com. It's just the word bomb twice, BOMB.com. If you want to learn more about the book, that's just at bomb.com/book. Poke around. We have some about us information if you want to learn more about us. We have a lot of resources on that site. And I also welcome direct communication by LinkedIn. Or you can email me. It's Ethan, ETHAN @bomb.com. So, we're excited about what we're doing. We're helping a lot of people. And I would encourage anyone who's thinking, I would benefit if I was face-to-face with more people more often, to act on it. And I know you're going to feel uncomfortable. If you haven't recorded videos before, you're going to feel uncomfortable. How did you get through it, Wes?
How did I get through what?
Seeing yourself in video.
Dude, all of this was weird at one point in time. For the longest time, I couldn't do recorded stuff. Like I had to do a live webinar, to get it recorded. Like I couldn't just sit and, record a webinar or a presentation to upload later. It was so weird, right? And making automation in general, like let me build an email sequence that drips on somebody for a month, with additional info. Like I was an old school sales guy in the beginning, right? Starting in 97, it was all face-to-face or over the phone, real time. And I always tell people, like when they're looking at Infusionsoft or HubSpot, and like, which one should you get? I said, look, dude, I'm a salesman first. And that's why you need me, because I equate technology to salt in a meal, right? Once you put too much, you've ruined the meal, or, you get a big bowl of whatever. Now you got to double, because you got too much salt or you're throwing it all away. So it's like, I use just enough technology to make the sale, and slowly add it on. So, but doing this, video, I still sometimes, even to this day, I don't do enough live streaming. So my goal this year is to do more of that, because even after doing 400 plus of these videos, I speak around the world. Still, like, I feel, how am I going to be judged? Doing this live video, am I ready? Will I stumble? It's like, man, you just got to get over yourself and jump in.
Yeah, it does. It takes this, the jumping piece is a thing. I hear that theme a lot. Like when I ask our best customers what their one piece of advice is for people just getting started with this simple, personal, unscripted style of video, it's typically some version of that. Like just jump, just do it, that kind of a thing. And it is the right, just hit send, don't re-record. And that is the right advice. At some point you just have to have the confidence. And so for me, I always recommend people start by sending a handful of videos to family members, friends, or coworkers, or great customers of yours who, whether it's a thank you or a congratulations, like as you're scrolling through like Facebook, hey, congratulations. I saw Tina made captain of the soccer team. You must be so proud of her. I remember when she was just a little girl. Gosh, it's just so awesome. The world's ahead of her. I'm just so proud of you both. And I appreciate you, and tell her I said hi, right? Or, hey, scrolling through LinkedIn, hey, saw you just got a new promotion, so well-deserved. You've given so many great years of your life to that team and that company. You're just such a great value add. Congratulations, dude. Or birthday, holiday, special occasion, thank you. Any of these, like these easy things that you maybe think, gosh, it would be great, or you've already hit like, but that's not enough because this is a really important person to you in your life and you want to demonstrate that. I promise that if you send 5 or 10 simple, lightweight videos like that, you're going to get a couple replies and responses that let you know that this is a different and better way to communicate.
Yeah. Very nice. I agree. You got to just get started. Does it work? Can, like on an iPhone, will it go through like Apple Mail or through Gmail on my phone?
Yeah. So we have a mobile app that the primary sending is off of our ESP essentially. And you can pick your little design and stuff out of the mobile app. But we also have in development, and it's not very far away. I have a beta version of it. It's still a little bit goofy, so we're not releasing it yet, but a keyboard app in your phone. So the same way as you have a keyboard that, so your video library and your ability to record videos on your phone and share them anywhere is not very far away with us. And And again, our goal is to get you face to face with more people more often. So we're going to keep doing things like that to make it easier and faster for you. And then, of course, let you know who's engaging with those messages.
Yeah.
So yes and no. You can do it from your phone. You can't do it natively in Gmail or Apple Mail on your phone. But you will be able to very soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Bombbomb.com. And I'm coming to an Air Force game at least once a year, man. So watch out.
Awesome. Yeah. They're a great community member. It's an important part of the town here. And we got a lot of good stuff going on.
And if everyone visits your site soon, they'll see you right there on the homepage, man. You're like famous. Should I call you sir?
No.
Should I stand at attention or anything? I mean, I think
no.
I messed up, man.
I'm not worthy of that, to be sure. I have sent 10,000 videos, and I have done,
Dang.
Back in the day, when you're a one-person marketing team, I did all the onboarding and training videos. I did the webinars. I was doing most of the stage presentations. What I call all of this is internet famous in your own sphere of influence. This idea that you're more familiar and approachable to the people in your network or sphere of influence or zone of impact, or however you want to describe that. Many of them you've met, many of them you haven't met, but this idea of putting yourself out there as a full and proper person as opposed to just a plain email signature, you're going to be more approachable and more recognizable. And so when I go to a conference that has some of our customers at it, I have conversations with people standing in line at Starbucks or on the elevator or other places where it's like, the best case scenario is they come up and go, "Hey, Ethan, gosh, we've never met, but," right? Worst case is like, "Hey, Bomb guy," right? So, because I was early and I've done a ton of video in social, in YouTube, and of course in email, I do get some of that, but it's not worthy of the type of respect you're offering. I appreciate that, though.
Very nice. All right, man. Ethan Beute, all the way from Colorado Springs. Thanks for coming to the show, man. It's been great.
Yeah, thank you so much for the invite. Thanks for the conversation. Great questions, and continued success to you.
All right, have a great day. So I'm recording this intro and outro on Valentine's Day. I'm about to leave to take my wife to dinner, although she's pretty casual, pretty laid back. That's why we've made it 24 and a half years, but we're still got to go in a minute. So this might be a little shorter, but I wanted to cover a couple things. I love what he talks about just jump, right? Simple, unscripted, just hit send, don't re-record. Start by sending to friends and family, great customers, okay? I've talked about this before. Ryan Dice brought this up. I was with him last year, founder of Digital Marketer and the Traffic and Conversion Summit. Big conference coming up in March in San Diego every year. We're talking about doing what doesn't scale. I've used various email video platforms. Now I'm using BombBomb. It's easy to use. It makes an impact. You've got to stand out. Like he says, we're all hyper-connected but feel less connected emotionally. Video helps you cut through the fear. Okay? So, and stop fearing rejection. Jump in and try things. And I know this can be hard. We all get stuck at some point in something. I talk about jiu-jitsu a lot, just got done training. And you learn a new move, and it seems really cool when you're learning it. But then in the heat of the moment, you hesitate to use it because you're going to stick with old reliable because you don't want to lose in your sparring session. But I've said it over and over again. There is no losing if you're in the arena, right? You either win or you learn. You've got to be willing. If you don't open up and test new things, then you are as good as you're going to be right now. So if you are totally 100% satisfied with where you are right now, then don't try anything new. And if you think that will sustain you for the foreseeable future, don't try anything new. But good luck with that. Okay, if you think you've arrived, then this is as good as it's going to get. And I know you're looking for more than that. All right, that's why you listen to this podcast. That's why you're engaged in different things to learn. You're looking for new ideas. So you gotta push past the fear. Give these guys a try. Like you said, truly free trial, no credit card. Start doing those things. If you need some help pushing through some of these either self-imposed barriers and limitations, or, a lot of times they are real. I mean, I get it. You're up against your own limits. And so I've always said you can't read the label from inside the bottle. I'm in a couple of coaching programs right now, and I have been literally nonstop since probably 2002. When I first wrote a check, back then I wrote a check for $500 to a guy named Rudy in Austin, Texas. So it was late 02, early 03 maybe. And I've been investing in coaching and mentorship and various programs ever since. If you would want some either one-on-one help or some small group help, hit me up. Let's talk. Okay, you can go to the website. There's a contact us in the bottom, in the footer, and fill that out. You'll get a link to my calendar. Let's see if I can help you. See if there's some chemistry there, if we can help one another. I'm happy to have that conversation with you. And join the Implementors, theimplementors.com. It's our free group. Come ask questions about the podcast, about whatever. Okay, and I'm happy to help there as much as I can as well. I've mentioned, speaking. If you have some influence, I'd appreciate it. Get my name put out there for your organization, for a conference. HireTheBestSpeaker.com. I will tailor the talk to your event, to your people, to your goals, to your theme. I'll show up early, stay late, stay sober. So that can't be overlooked. I've heard some horror stories in the speaking circuit, but that ain't me. So HireTheBestSpeaker.com. All right. Be sure you're subscribed to this so you get each episode as soon as it comes out. And share it. Give me a 5-star review. Help me spread the word. I can help more people for free. Thanks for listening. I'll go sell something.